All right, everybody. Welcome to this webinar called The Last Chance Webinar, where we're going to discuss every e-com store's favorite topic, which is Black Friday and Christmas sales. It's getting cold outside, but at least we're going to start seeing some increase in revenue, which is super. There's a lot of you tuning in today, so if you look at the GoToWebinar control panel that you all should be seeing, there's a section called Questions. If at some point there's a question or you're wondering about something, please just write it down and I'll try to address all of your questions at the end of the session, because it'll be impossible for me to stop during the webinar. All right, let's get going. Today we're going to cover more or less how to maximize revenue potential for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And we're going to also look at how to help your customers finding all the potential gifts in your store in December. And then we're going to briefly touch upon turning holiday shoppers into year-round customers in January. Surviving Q1 is such a big topic that the January part is a bit short, but we're going to have another webinar in Q1 discussing how to survive those perilous times, so to say. But let's start looking a little bit at the monthly e-com revenue. This is something that shouldn't come as a surprise to most of you. November and December go up about 2% compared to the rest of the year in average store revenue. And compared with January, it's up around 3%. So this is the time of the year to really kind of focus on getting in that sale. If we look a little bit on when the customers actually start shopping for the holidays, we can see that women and senior citizens start shopping before September. Millennials and men start after kind of Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So if you are kind of centered around more senior products or female products, you'll probably already seen a spike in your traffic. But if you're a men's clothing store aimed at young millennials, probably the holiday season hasn't even started for you yet. But let's delve into the actionable part. So let's look at Black Friday and Cyber Monday. At this point of the year, your customers obviously is focused on getting a good deal and finding some nice items for a big discount percentage. And the challenge that e-com managers and marketeers have at this point of the year is to work around all the noise which comes with customer acquisition. For Black Friday should-dos, I've listed a couple of points that we're going to address. Obviously, scheduling email marketing well in advance to automate all of this kind of bulk communication, which is a good weapon to kind of get a automated setup of emails going out well in advance, so you don't have to sit down and actually do anything come Black Friday. Also leveraging Facebook and Instagram for your lukewarm customers that are already in the discovery phase. So they've already warmed up a bit to the brand and they haven't still finalized the purchase. We're also going to look at the possibility of doing a VIP sale for your most loyal customers a couple of days in advance, which is a really good way to kind of keep your most loyal customers inside the store. And then if you work in a kind of sub-vertical that has high margins, we can also tackle a lot of the sales with discount pop-ups for abandoned carts to kind of really reel in all the revenue we can, being conscious of the margins, of course. So let's first look at the email marketing part. One of the best practices for emails during Black Friday is kind of showcasing discounted items, obviously, in the email. If possible, drive users with a call to action button to a page with all those deals listed. And I looked around quite a lot at email service provider best practices and kind of what people recommend. And this was kind of a short list. 1 week before to get the word out, 2 days before to remind customers that this is actually coming, 1 day before to remind them that you have to start shopping in like 10 hours, and then the morning of Black Friday when the laziest people wake up at 10 a.m. Let's go, come by now. And how you can leverage Nosta here is to generate kind of emails or page on the store full with all of these discounted items. And that's kind of what I'm going to look at a little bit in our admin dashboard. So all right, no full screen then. Let's do it like this. Here we go. So hopefully everyone is quite accustomed to our email widgets and how they work, but I'm just going to create a new email widget here in the kind of demo sense of creating an email that showcases different categories where I have my Black Friday discounts. It's a lot of different campaigns at times that we can use, but for this use case, I would do bestsellers because we are actually just trying to get that message out there. So let's open up a bestseller, select the email service that we're using, and then let's just select what kind of products we want to showcase. Most stores usually have some kind of catalog pricing rule that gives discounted prices to a big part or everything in their catalog. But if you work with a kind of category structure where you would have a category for Black Friday items, that's also kind of doable. For the category structure, you would just select a category here. Let's do, for example, beanies. And then we would choose to include all of the discounted items. If you are working in a category hierarchy, you would kind of select the category called Black Friday 2017 or something like that. Anyway, what the email widgets then do is it actually gets all of the products which are within these parameters. So we would get kind of Black Friday items from category menswear or something like that. Tailoring the email, we can showcase up to 50 products with this feature, where we would have blocks looking a little bit like this. Then we can quite easily segment it to this particular category. So beanie offers on Black Friday. All right. Obviously, this example is a little bit lacking because this customer doesn't yet have any Black Friday discounts, being conscious of it being only 8th of November at the time of this webinar. But I'm pretty sure all of you got the gist on how this works. Doing this on site with Nosto is also quite easy. So we would go down to on site, recommendations, and then we would just create something, some kind of on-site recommendation that shows a lot of discounted products. So we can do other page type, and let's do general layout or other page type or whatever, depends on where you put it. Do the recommendation type, let's do bestsellers again. And then we would again include all of the discounted menwear or everything from category Black Friday 2017. And then on the visual settings, we can then kind of showcase a lot of products. Let me just set this up. Sorry for being a little bit slow. Here is now the slot. Let's do Black Friday Madness, because it is madness. You do know that. Let's do 50 products. Let's see how this looks like. Oh, that was a demo effect. I don't think this store that I'm using as a demo, Costco, has quite little traffic, so I would assume that the most views in the last 4 hours is a bit too short of a time span here. Still quite of a demo effect. But I hope you do get the gist here. So we can do a lot of kind of full page recommendations, and if we have a lot of split categories like menswear, women's wear, children's wear, etc., you can quite easily create 3, 4, or 5 blocks, which ljudet försvann. Let me just see here. Computer audio 0. Okay. Sound is back. All right. Sorry, everybody. A bit of a Wi-Fi issue here at the office today, which is convenient in the combination of having a webinar like this. But moving on, thankfully I have colleagues in the same office who can just kind of shout out. You have no audio. So coming back to the recommendation type, doing these kind of slots on the page or generating a full page with different kind of categories which are on sale is quite the easy thing to achieve. And that is a page that you can quite easily drive traffic to from your emails and just showcase everything that you have on sale to get even the most discerning customer interested in something. Let's move back to the keynote for a bit here. The email marketing, I mean, emails are a bulk thing, so you should send out a lot of emails. And if you're brand conscious and a little bit afraid of sending too many emails to your customers, that's not possible during Black Friday. There's going to be so much communication that kind of no brand will take a hit from sending out a lot of emails. So just like go ahead. And a good recommendation is to schedule this well in advance through your email service provider, so you don't have to stress about this again. Then we're going to look a little bit on Facebook and Instagram. So there's kind of, as you well may know, there's a conversion funnel when looking at Facebook and Instagram ads, where we can drive three different things. We can drive awareness to a cold audience. Cold audience means customers who never interacted with your brand or your store before. And this group, this cold audience, is something that obviously every e-com store wants for Black Friday. So lookalike audience targeting and demographic targeting is going to be quite a lot more expensive than what it normally is. So I would still recommend kind of doing these kind of campaigns, but you just have to be conscious of upping your budget and being realistic with kind of the return on ad spend that you might have seen a couple of months ago. The discovery phase, again, is the lukewarm audience. So that's the customers who have expressed the interest in products and viewed them, surfed around the site, but never actually bought anything. These are the customers that I recommend you focus most of your budget on during Black Friday, to kind of get the message out there that this product that you've been viewing for 2 or 3 times already, it's now discounted by 40%. You need to come to the store. Obviously, the warm audience, the customers who are already ready to buy or have bought before, so in essence, your most loyal customers, is also a good thing to target. Let me just break this down a little bit. Looking at the lukewarm audience, one way to kind of target the customers in the discovery phase of the store is to create a custom audience who have viewed products within the last 90 days, but haven't bought anything within either the last 7 days or the last 30 days, depending a little bit on your average kind of order value or how pricey items you're selling. Then on the conversion stage, again, a customer who has bought something within 90 days, but has not bought something within 7 days. It's also a great way to kind of re-engage customers who clearly are interested in the products and clearly kind of want more. So I'm just going to jump into our admin again and create both of these audiences so you can just see how this is done on our end. So let me just go under Facebook ads and click create ad campaign. And under retarget existing customer, we have the kind of the ready-made segments for re-engaged recent buy-ins, visitors retargeting and abandoned cart retargeting, but custom audience retargeting is the one that we're going to focus on right now. And let's just click next. This is how the custom audience panel looks like. So here we can select customers who viewed products in the last 90 days, include that. And then let's exclude the customers who purchased in the last 7 days, because probably they won't come back to the store if they bought something last week. Obviously, it depends on the price point again. Moving forward here, let's do a location for this store. The demo store that I'm using here is called Kosta, which is a Finnish store. So let's do Finland. Let's uncheck Instagram. And Costo has extremely little traffic, so every time we use this as a demo account, it's also always good to kind of be conscious of the expected reach of this campaign. If you see something in the lines of potential reach 300, that means that you will have way too little traffic to do this kind of targeting. And at that point, I would just recommend that you do lookalike audience targeting through attract new customers. Or then if this is also a very small number, just do demographic targeting. So we will want to have a kind of healthy pool of customers to target. Otherwise, this is not going to work. Or it'll work, but for 12 minutes or something like that. The next thing is the ad format. I hope everyone has received marketing promotion at the end of this day regarding our new collection ad unit. Obviously, you can do the carousel, but collection ad unit is something that works extremely well on mobile. If you haven't yet seen the collection ad unit, I'll show you how it works. So what we do here is we select a video or an image that becomes the big hero content of this ad, and then we'll still have the products under here. So let's just try an image. I think I downloaded here it is. Yay. So here is my Black Friday campaign. Obviously, like, you will have better material than this, I think, I hope. Let's see here, Black Friday offers. And then we have the products. And this is what happens when someone clicks on the advert. So it opens up and you'll see the products like in a nice grid layout here. And you can go to the store from a call to action button, and then you can click whatever product to kind of drive the customer to the product page. The point here is to also get out kind of a little bit of a brand communication to the customer. And if you have a high quality video, that works best. But if you don't, an image will suffice quite long. A note of warning for the collection ad unit. This works only on mobile. So it's mobile only ad unit, which means that going back to the audience here, you'll have to create a mobile only campaign and then do collection ad unit. For desktop and for Instagram, you're still going to have to do a separate carousel ad unit. And just a refresher how the carousel ad unit looks like. It's the basic carousel that showcases the products. Doing the Black Friday offerings, one thing that you would like to do probably is to also add the category filters here. So show just discounted items or show the Black Friday 2017 category. But I digress. So looking at the audience type again, this is the discovery customer, and just changing the purchases in the last 90 days. So people who bought within the last 90 days didn't buy within the last 7 days. This is now the kind of the conversion customer. If you have excess budget and you really want to spend more money on marketing to get as big of an impact as possible, you should do kind of buyer lookalike targeting to reach out to similar customers as your buyers already are, and then do the kind of same flow with the same include and exclude filters here as well. So kind of wrapping up Facebook a little bit here, the discovery customer will probably be the biggest pool of users that you have, and they are already quite engaged, and probably they will be a bit expensive, but you'll get your money back compared to the lookalike audience targeting where everyone else is viewing for those same users. So we have everyone like big international brands like H&M spending millions on prospecting. So it's a tough market during Black Friday. Doing a VIP sale for your most loyal customers a few days in advance for Black Friday is a good way to kind of make sure that they stay with your brand, so that you don't lose them to other competitors doing the same thing. One way that you can do this is to expose a discount code, which is unique for your VIPs, and then just deliver it via email or via social or via a phone call, depending on how you do your customer centricity. And just do a discount code that expires on Black Friday morning or at 12 p.m. on Black Friday morning. from this VIP group that attended the sale and actually bought something. You can also create a separate email audience that you can upload to Facebook and then exclude them from all of the promotions that you're doing, which is a good way to make sure that you don't excessively market people who already bought something. I'll quickly show you how to do that if you haven't already tried this in Business Manager. So in Facebook's Business Manager, you can go from the navigation here to Audiences, and under Audiences, we will create a new audience, a custom audience here, and do a customer file audience. Add customers from your own file or copy-paste data. And here we can just upload a CSV file or a text file that contains a list of email addresses of people. How you can see this in Nosto after this has been done is, just go back to the campaign creation flow here. You'll see these under externally created. So all of the custom audiences which have been created in Business Manager will be visible here. So if you do kind of a VIPs that bought during sale or something, you can just choose to exclude it here. The VIP sale depends, of course, on how much VIPs and extra loyal customers you have. We have one large store in the Nordics who tried this last year, whose top 20 customers do 55% of the total revenue of the store in a year. And for example, for that use case, it really makes sense for them to do the VIP sale separately and kind of just take good care of those users. But this is kind of a business-to-business decision anyway. If your margins can take it, you can do a discount pop-up that says no to abandoned carts through Nosto. This obviously would then kind of have to take into consideration you already having a big discount on other items, and now you're giving further discounts for people not to abandon their cart. So that might be a problem for a lot of businesses, but it can really kind of help you rein in those deals. So I'll just quickly create the pop-up on Nosto here, on-site and pop-ups, and just create a new pop-up. And then on exit is the one that gives you a discount code for exit intent. So when the customer is trying to get out of the page and going up here, we'll give them a minus 10% or something to finish their cart. If your margins can't take it, we can also do abandon cart, which doesn't give out a discount code. It actually just takes the customer's email address and then sends them an abandoned cart email instead. That's also very important in any case you want the email address for January, because these customers will drop off the site after New Year's and you're going to have a hard time in January with reactivating them anyway. Let's quickly do it on exit pop-up. Show coupon or ask for email. We want the email. Do you want to use a multi-use coupon code like Black Friday 2017? Or then we can upload a personalized coupon pool under Tools Coupon Codes, which we then can use from here. And that would be personalized for every user then. We can select the template and edit the copy. We've released a couple of new templates, so we can now do a minimal pop-up in the corner to be a bit unobtrusive, or then we can do a super aggressive full screen pop-up. You can change all the text here, and then schedule this to only run 24th of November. So this will start kicking in 24th of November, and it'll stop when the clock hits 12 again. And yeah, this looks good. If you want to further segment this to kind of make sure that you're not giving out unnecessary discounts, you can also add an advanced rule for cart contents. So let's see here, customer must have 99 euros and one product in the cart. Now we don't give out a discount to people who have under 99 euros in their cart, which means that we can segment a little bit on who we're going to give this out to. All right. Wrapping up things for November, keep in mind that the acquisition costs will go up. So if you've already been doing, let's say, lookalike audience targeting through Nosto or through Facebook in general, you will see that the performance will drop unless you raise your budget. And that's totally understandable because all of the huge companies, all of the huge brands that have a lot of marketing budget will be going after the same users quite heavily. So you also need to be extremely conscious about your budget. Retargeting your customers that are actually engaging with the content or spending on the site, you should kind of, as I showed you before with the discovery audience and the conversion audience, you should try to focus on these. So you retain the customers you already have and then keep the acquisition of totally new users as a kind of good to have, nice to have, but kind of focus on retargeting. And Black Friday is obviously full of noise. Everyone wants that deal. So this is not the time to be cautious or conscious about brand communication. You want to have that sale. If you are a little quirky or a little bit aggressive in your marketing texts, that's fine. Let's move on to December. Santa Claus is coming to town, etc. All the customers are looking for the perfect gift. And you as a store owner should make it easy for the customers to actually find what they are looking for. So the should-dos of seasonal sales. We should tailor the on-site experience for full-on product discovery, either personalized or generic. We should create converting customers out of all the visitors, and keeping in mind that the traffic should be a lot higher than what you normally see on average, like Tuesday or Monday or whenever Christmas is this year. And another good tip for Facebook and Instagram is to run reverse segmented ads to inspire the gift givers with ideas instead of focusing solely on the gift receivers. First, the question that comes every year here at Nosto is, should we continue doing personalized recommendations, browsing history related, browsing history, etc. on the site, or should we just move to do bestsellers and cross-sellers, something a bit more generic? And the truth here is that there is no correct answer. Depends a lot on the store and on the audience base. The personalized recommendations might not be relevant for the gift giver, but it also might be extremely relevant because 25% of all of the female population has already started shopping for Christmas before September. So they might already have all of the men's underwear in their recommendations. But I would still kind of focus on new items versus retargeting of interests. So I can show you an example on our end there in a bit. The generic one, like showing bestsellers, trending items, etc., it can be more relevant for gifts, but it can also skip a lot of opportunities to rein in the returning users. So what's my recommendation here is to, if you have a decent setup with Nosto, you should keep it. If you have an unoptimized setup for Nosto today, you should definitely reach out to your account manager and kind of look it over before Christmas sales really start. But my personal recommendation is to add a couple of nice Christmas themed things. For example, the stocking fillers for under 75 euros, the trending Christmas gifts for him or her, other customers buying right now slider, which ticks on and shows products which have been bought or viewed in the last 2 hours. And if you have any kind of strategy for selling wrapping paper or pre-packaged gifts, that's something that you should really push on the cart page as well. So let's go and check out some examples of this. Going back to our trusted admin. And we're at on-site recommendations right now. So how would one of these recommendations look like? Let's just do other page type again, so we can use it wherever. And let's again do a bestseller block. And then include products from, let's keep all categories. Let's just do the price filter, 75 euros first. So this is now the stocking fillers for under 75 euros. We're showing products which are under a certain threshold, and they can be from all categories, or you can segment it to a certain category. And one thing which is interesting with the bestsellers is that you can also do browsing history related, and create a similar fallback on bestsellers, where we would try to show the customer products related to their interests from your huge catalog, but still keep those pricing filters. Looking at the trending Christmas gifts for him and her. This is something that's pretty good if you do have like men's and women's and children's and etc. top level categories. At that point, you would just do bestsellers from, let's say here, custom categories, men, and then start looking at, obviously I can see it here. Let's open up a existing element, just a sec. Just a sec, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back with you. Here we go. Most popular right now. So this is a bestseller element that's already set up, and what I can't do in the campaign wizard is to change the scoring mode. So we can have most views, let's say 4 hours, and that kind of ticks on and shows the items that people are buying right now, so it becomes a little bit more actionable. The third example, other customers buying right now. Actually, I just mixed up a couple of things right now. Trending Christmas gifts for him, her should have a longer time span than 4 hours. Other customers buying right now slider. Yeah, all right. So most buys, time period 4 hours. And you can apply a carousel slider for this, for example. Let's see, Nosto Carousel PDP. We already have something here. Let's see how it looks like. Oh, wow. Okay, that was a very bad example. Let's jump back to the default template here. So this is the most popular right now slider within the last 4 hours. And this changes very frequently, so your customers are window shopping and searching for the correct prices all the time during Christmas. So just having this continually updating will be good. Sorry for jumping around with GitHub there a little bit. During Christmas, one of the most important thing is that you have a lot of extra traffic. And if you don't have a strategy for abandoned cart, you need to have a strategy for abandoned cart. Because all of these customers are jumping off the site for different reasons. They might come in, find items which look good, but then they jump off because they want to compare with another store. And just sending them that email and just having Facebook retarget them with those items can bring them back. And I don't really care if you do this through Nosto or any other system, but please abandon cart, abandon cart, abandon cart. This is something that you can be, if you're already an Nosto customer, you can be set up with all of these abandoned cart pop-up, abandoned cart emails, abandoned cart, Facebook, Instagram retargeting. You can be set up with this in like 5 or 10 minutes. So once again, reach out to your account manager and ask them for help to set this up. On the Facebook side, during Christmas, we did a case with a men's clothing store called Grand Frank. If you haven't been to their site, you should check it out. They have incredibly cool products and nice watches. What we tried with them during the summer season, actually, not the seasons, was to kind of reach out to the female viewers in the store with the male products. And we tried with a quite fun, quirky marketing text of "Want a better and improved gentleman, upgrade his wardrobe now." And that just resonated extremely well with all of the female users on the store. So they actually ended up having a better return on ad spend on the cross-gender ad than they did on actual retargeting for males. This is something that you should definitely try during the Christmas seasons if you have kind of a gender-separated catalog. So let me just show you again in our admin how to achieve this. Let's kill GitHub there. So we go into ads. We create the ad campaign. And then we again do a custom audience retargeting. Then we do viewed products within the last 180 days. Did not buy anything in the last 7 days. Then we again do the correct locality. And then we just check women. So as I said before, Costa has extremely little traffic, so the example is quite small, but we can compare females with men in this store as well. So it seems like there's a lot more women here than men. So this could be a good kind of idea of shooting out gift ideas to men through this store. So let's just do men and carousel. And then again, we can do, does she need a new beanie? Buy it now. Now it's a bit more personal. Does she need a new beanie? Because she's been in watching beanies 3 or 4 times already. This is quite simple to set up, especially if you already have kind of his and her categories. So once again, try it, because the return on ad spend for Grand Frank was quite nice, to be honest. We have a case study on this up on nosto.com/resources as well, if you want to take a deeper look. So for Christmas, if you do place more recommendations on the site, don't be greedy with them. I know a lot of e-com managers are a bit tempted to showcase expensive items for holiday shoppers to try to drive as much revenue as possible, but most of the customers do know your price point. So just showing them the top 10 most expensive items in the store is something that never works. The abandoned carts will go up in volume and percentage. Tackling the abandoned carts will drive a lot of revenue. So abandoned cart, abandoned cart, abandoned cart, and reach out to your account managers for help with setting this up ASAP. During this Christmas, retargeting won't be crazy expensive as they are on Black Friday, but it'll still go up. So keep on doing what you did for Black Friday. Keep warming up the discovery clients, the customers who have spent money on the store, and you'll be all right. Just a sec, I'll take a sip of water at this point. Moving on to January and the new year. At this point, we've already done a lot of work, and most of your customers will be focused on returning that amazing product that they bought, which sounds a bit depressing, but that's the reality. UPS reported for the first week of January that they received 6 million returns in the first week of January. Think about that number. It's incredible. But providing great customer service and re-engaging the customers that we already have influenced will be a super good spot for January. Creating loyal customers out of your holiday shoppers essentially means that you have to re-engage the gift givers, you have to re-engage the gift receivers some way, and the gift receivers will be met best if you provide a seamless return process and they just start trusting your brand and your store at that point. 38% of customers made a second purchase within the same holiday season, and another 42% made their second purchase during the next 10 months. So it is actually possible to get these customers to spend more money in the store. Looking at the returns a little bit, obviously this is something that we don't do, but I decided to talk about it anyway. A bad returns process won't stop someone making the return, because you will get a lot of returns in January, but how you treat those customers will have a big impact on their customer lifetime value. And that's something I really hope that everyone has a strategy for at this point. Looking at increasing the lifetime value of the holiday shoppers, so the gift givers, 23 of the average e-commerce business acquires 23% of the new customers during the holiday period, which means that if you get, let's say, a 10% increase in your traffic, 23% of that might still be year-round traffic for next year. So that's super. And how we can create loyal customers out of your holiday shoppers is to kind of segment the emails for all of the customers that bought within December, and just taking that email list, using it for segmented emails through your email service provider. And you can also just upload that email list as a new audience in Facebook and kind of promote new products. If you're having a sale in January, this is also the perfect place to kind of get the noise out to those customers that found something a month ago. For Nosto, I would highly recommend that you do "We Miss You" emails before going forward with Christmas sales, because the "We Miss You" email will then kind of keep on getting the customers in 30 days or 60 days later after they bought something when they visited the store the last time. So that's a super way to get them automatically re-engaged. The same thing for Facebook and Instagram. You should do the segmented lists of customers who bought something, or then you can just do a custom audience for people who bought something within the last 30 days. Works as a charm. When you do all of these things and you have a good return process, the customers will keep coming back and they will continue converting. You'll get customers for life, which have a nice lifetime value. Keep in mind that the receivers is quite a low-hanging fruit. I know it's going to be tricky to get the email address from customers who is returning a gift, but just giving them a good experience will kind of make them trust the brand as well. The givers, again, we do know who the givers are. We do know their email address for segmented emails. We do know that they purchased something within the last 30 days on Facebook and Instagram. So just keep working on those. And well, run January sale is, I mean, this is not kind of a bleeding edge advice. People have been doing January sales since 1961 or something like that. But just if you're in a sales slump in January, have a sale and get the noise out to all of these customers that we just interacted with. I think it'll be good. So basically that in all of its 45-minute shortness is our Last Chance Holiday webinar. As I've been mentioning multiple times during this call, we will help you set up for Black Friday and Christmas and January. For January and Q1 in general, we're going to have another webinar in January. Haven't decided the date yet, but that's something that will be communicated later. But reach out to your account manager or support at nosto.com to get help in how to set stuff up for Black Friday, for Christmas, and do it now so we still have time to do it. So let's see what kind of questions. So Hannu is asking, how many are making purchases on the last minute a few days before Christmas? That's actually a very good question, Hannu. I don't have a data point for that right now, but let me just see. Hannu. Here you are. I'll see if I can find some aggregated stats for that question and follow up by email if I can find something worthwhile. It's a very good question, actually. No other questions, apparently? It's your last chance to ask questions, guys. And no question is stupid. All right. I mean, if you guys have no further questions, at that point, I'm going to just let you go back to work. If I don't hear from any of you during Q4, have a nice holiday. And remember to reach out to your account managers for some more info. Have a lovely week ahead.